PRS Silver Sky. It's finally dying. Strats already exist. I thought Schecter's would have went away a long time ago. What's happening? Pat here, the 416 SBA Studios, Songbirds Anonymous. So let's talk about some guitars. I pulled up some lists here. Like, these 2023 lists are weird. I don't know what's going on with them, but here's the deal. There's a lot of guitars I saw this year getting bought and sold. There's a lot of guitars this year that I saw people playing out in public. I did a lot of shows this year, so I know what I played out with. And anyways, in my area, I'm in Canada here, none of these lists are adding up. We're going to go through some. I've got some of my favorite picks and maybe guitars I don't necessarily like, but guitars that I see a lot. Squier Bullet for beginners, sure, but you're still better off to get a Strat. PRS SEs, they were the rave for a while, but there are just so many better options, and there's so much lacquer on most of these. I'm saying no. I owned a PRS SE this year. The resale value on these is junk. I'm embarrassed to say what I sold a custom 24 Floyd for about 2 months ago. You can't go wrong with an Ibanez RG series. I don't know what a Genesis series is. Ibanez makes a great instrument. Vinteratelli, sure. Charvel, I guess. I didn't really see too many of those. ES335 Satin. Why Satin? Because it's going to be way cheaper. I don't really like satin on Gibsons. I mean, that's a weird list and does not coincide at all with what I've been seeing. Player Series Fenders. You can get them on the used market for like 7 or 8, or you can buy one new for about 1,100. Some people say you're better off to get a Squier. I literally heard a very popular guy with a huge following say, I'd rather get a Classic Vibe Squier than a Player Series. I say, hell no. Player Series feels way better. The metal's way better. The pickups are way better. If you've got a bigger hand, you may gravitate to a Squier Classic Vibe first. Squier Classic Vibe is a really well-built guitar, and they're very solid. The ones I've seen have a lot of lacquer on them, so you might not like that. A lot of people don't realize that what they're liking and not liking about Fenders versus Squiers is often the size of the neck and the shape of the neck. Are you gravitating towards that? Are you a kid, a beginner kid who's going to get their hand around a Player Series way easier than a USA model with a chunkier neck, or a reissued Telly with a baseball bat of a neck? So your likes and dislikes are all based upon your experiences and what your brain wants out of that guitar. You can take almost any guitar and make it good. At the end of the video, I'll reveal what my favorite guitar of the year is, and I'm going to get hate for it, and no one's going to like it. So I'm just going to keep closing these. Schecter guitars. I don't know. I saw Schecters on a couple lists. I guess if you're a metalhead or something, but no. I thought Schecters would have went away a long time ago. PRS Silver Sky. It's finally dying. It's finally going away. They're trying to get rid of them for 20% off. It's stupid. Just get a Strat. I don't like Strat copies. It's just ugly. The scoop thing's ugly, and I think it's a spite guitar. I think the only reason it exists is because of spite. It's a freaking spite guitar. I don't like it. And any dude playing it, you hear it, and then you hear them play their Strat, and you're like, there's the sound. That's the sound. It's the Strat. That's not a Strat. I don't know. I don't like them. Don't, like, the Strat already exists. Stop remaking Strats. Suhr guitars. Again, Strats already exist. You built a whole thing off of remaking guitars that already exist with a Samick headstock. It's a Cort headstock. Like you take something that was cheesy. Uh, no, no to sir. What do we got here? Kiesels. I see these all the time. I don't love the way they look at all, but they're doing something different. They'll make you a custom one. They use really good woods, and I've never heard a bad thing about these. Even their headstock, they're doing their own thing. They're doing their own thing with finishes. They're doing their own thing with shapes. And that Leia actually looks pretty cool. So yeah, thumbs up to Kiesel. Kessel? I don't know. EVH guitars, they were really hot for a minute. This year, the resale value on these are junk. There's way too many Frankenstrats out there. Some of these look pretty cool. They're nice guitars. I've owned a couple of them. If you really want to go for it, find an original PV Wolfgang and thank me later. Gibsons. Man, it's the year of the Sunburst R9 Les Paul, man. So there is no debating how amazing these feel. There's something about them. They just feel really good. I got nothing to say about them. I can't afford an R9 right now, I'll tell you that much. Again, with Gibsons, the necks are different. The years give different necks, different specs, different pickups. It's like sometimes you got to dig really deep to get one you want. So many people with the greenie. Gretsch guitars, I mean, they were really cool. They just all seem fake now. That really expensive Japanese version, it plays really nice. It feels really good. It's like 4Gs or something. Where are we? Kramer, Lizzie Hale Voyager. Yeah, it's a cool throwback guitar. I'm surprised it got talked about as much as it did this year. Is this another list? Okay, here's another list. Music Radar's list. Fender American Pro, Gibson Les Paul 60s, Player Plus. Can't really argue with their list. Those are, and that Les Paul standard 60s is so nice looking. Yeah. What's your favorite year Les Paul? Let me know. Ibanez, the AZ stuff was good. I owned an AZES, whatever. Resale value on Ibanez in my area is not good. Finding new high-end Ibanez in this area is not good. Overall best-selling electrics of 2023. So here's some agenda. They got the PRS Silver Sky #1. I'm going to say no. Maybe last year. Fender Player, Tele Strat, American Pro 2, Silver Sky, John Mayer signature. How are that many people wanting someone else's fake Strat, man? A lot of Fender on this list. This is a weird one. It's a cool looking Les Paul, but everyone's like, oh, Adam Jones, Adam Jones, Adam Jones. Why? I don't see the connection, but whatever. Solo Kings. No. Ibanez and Fender already did all of these things. Like, you just, no. No. Sires, again, these are nice guitars, but for the money, no. These all already exist. Like, your guitar is your uniform, it's your badge. If you're going to go to the Halloween shop, you want the most authentic shit. What's this? Schecter's. No. Like, no. No. Okay, here we go. Here's one of my favorites if you want a custom built, cool freaking guitar is Palermo Guitars. I've played these. I've gigged with these. It's a custom built Strat. You're not paying custom shop prices. It's a guy who's been building guitars for a long time. He will do exactly what you want to spec. They feel unbelievable. These are sick. The reason I bring this up is because in my area this year, a lot of dudes were rocking these. Anyways, wrapping this up. It was interesting to see some of these lists and all these Fenders, and so many Les Pauls this year. There has to be a different color than Cherry Sunburst R9. Anyways, wrapping this up. There's a lot of options out there. I've played $100 guitars that felt like $4,000 guitars. I've played $4,000 guitars that should be thrown in the trash. So a lot of it's what you want to feel and how it's set up. You got to understand, if you play 11 gauge strings in a metal band, you need to get your guitar set up, especially if you just got it out of a guitar store with 9 gauge strings from the factory. It's most of it's set up. You can get some really cheap guitars and make them play amazing. But your guitar heroes played those classic guitars. And there's a reason, there's a feel, there's a vibe. And sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes you just gotta get one for yourself to decide. My favorite guitar, hands down this year, is a Chibson Les Paul. I don't know if I got lucky or what, but right out of the box, sounds, plays incredible. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite guitar right now. I'm sorry, Gibson enthusiasts. I'm sorry, counterfeit activists, even though it's technically not a counterfeit guitar, especially if there's no intent to redistribute or sell. And that's not really up for debate. That's like law and fact. And who cares? We are the consumer. We get the guitars we want. If you don't want to overpay, don't overpay. With that said, if you order one of these from China, you do risk getting an absolute unusable piece of crap. So think of it as a scratch ticket. I don't know. But yeah, have fun, play guitar. Mark to yourself.